This time, on Whatever We Want, we talk about
Tales of the Jedi. Spoilers, major, huge, big spoilers ahead. There are time codes down in the description if you'd like to jump around to different points in the episode. We talk everything from Dooku's kinks to Yaddle and Yoda's history. Happy Halloween! Welcome back to Whatever We Want, where we review content across all mediums of media, movies, TV shows, video games, and beyond to give you the most interesting behind-the-scenes insights, storytelling techniques, all that jazz, and more.
We cover everything from Marvel, Disney, Pixar, Star Wars. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
PreBanter, peanut butter. Daniel, happy Halloween, my friend.
Yeah, Halloween.
So for our audio listeners, Daniel, can you just describe what you're wearing?
Okay, so I didn't have time to go get a costume this year because I've been busy with my own studio, okay?
I told you about it 2 weeks ago, and then I told you about it again today, and you were like, oh yeah, that's happening.
Listen, okay, I wasn't ready. So, if some of you may remember from our Easter episode, Jake had an old Easter bunny.
My grandparents had, this
they had an Easter bunny outfit. Like
and I'm now finding out you never give it back to them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They never asked for it back.
They're probably trying to get rid of it. It's like cursed, maybe. And now you're just stuck
honestly,
with it.
I would not be surprised.
Maybe it's like a curse that you just, until you get rid of it, you just forget to ever get another costume ever again. So just until you get rid of it, you'll just be that every Halloween and Easter.
That would be a terrible curse. But here's the thing, all right? I'm not just the Easter bunny.
Oh.
I'm also
the Irish rapper Easter bunny.
I'm the Irish rapper bunny.
So for our audio listeners, Daniel's got on
Irish hair, just
the head of the Easter bunny outfit. So it looks like he's wearing like the carcass of like a bunny around his face, and then he just put on a Lucky Charm necklace, Irish, from probably St. Patrick's Day that we did that.
Yes.
So Daniel's just all sorts of holidays.
Every holiday but Halloween.
I'm wearing a Speed Racer outfit. I'm pretty proud of this.
It's pretty snazzy, actually. You're looking pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so speaking of Halloween, we have that discount still going on. If you're watching this on the day that this episode drops, it is still live on our merch store, www.whateveronepodcast.com/shop or /store. Sure. I don't know which one it is. But if you use the discount code BOO, capital B, capital O, capital O, for today, you get, I think it's like 20% off for today only. So yeah, go do that, please. I'm super excited to talk about this stuff for the week. But before we get there, there's some news I wanted to hear your thoughts on.
Yes.
Did you see the Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania trailer?
Yeah, the trailer, dude, it looks crazy.
What'd you think?
I think it's awesome. I'm excited to see how they're going to do Kang. Now that we have kind of like some insight about like his motive now. A little bit more about his back story in this case. Because again, we don't really know like anything about him, but we kind of know a motive now that he's trying to get something or someone. I do like too the way they're making him the blue is that his eyes are down and it's like the lights filling in, which looks super clean, but also looks very comic accurate. And I actually like that. I
am remembering that last time you like tucked the nose in. I'm just remembering that now because you sound muffled. I'm like, why does it sound so different?
Okay,
do you mind doing that if it's too much? Thanks. All right, now Daniel has taken the carcass of the bunny and mutilated its nose region.
I'll just put the nose right up there.
Yeah.
That makes it look more like a corpse.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really like what they do with the poster that they also released with it, like the scale for that they just like creatively use the Ant-Man scale to make cool posters instead of just a floating head syndrome. And I also really like the music. They had like an Elton John like epic version of, was it Rocket Man?
I think it was Rocket Man. I
don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I thought it was really good. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. That's like February next year, I believe. Yeah, February 17th. Speaking of other Marvel news, do you see the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special trailer?
Dude, I am so hyped for that.
We've
come to take you as a gift.
Playing himself. That's pretty cool. We've got like Chad Groot.
Yeah, dude. Like, what the heck? What kind of juices has he been sucking on? You know, like what kind of sap has he got?
He went from like that nerd kid playing what's it called
to I am Groot. It's like I could totally see the memes now, like the Virgin Groot versus the Chad Groot.
Yeah, but that's exciting. That's like November, I think, of this year. But speaking of James Gunn, there was some crazy DC news around him this week. Did you hear about that?
Didn't he get some up and up seat promotion thing?
Yeah, so he's now like the CEO of like the film and animation and television department at DC Comics. I think he's like co-CEO with like someone else who the other person's doing more of like the business stuff and he's I think, doing like creative decisions and stuff.
This is crazy.
It's just crazy. Like, think about, you remember like a couple years ago, like his story, like he was fired from Guardians 2 because of like an old tweet that surfaced a while ago. And went from having like no job to then gets hired for DC to do Suicide Squad. So, okay, he gets a movie back. That's great. Then he gets hired back for Guardians 2 and 3. So now he's doing both Marvel and DC. And fast forward a few years, now he's like going from like being fired, having no job, to like did a Peacemaker series and is now the CEO of DC. Like, what a story. They should do like a documentary. Like, I could see like a whole nother like movie
there's
on.
totally going to be one.
Yeah.
At least
like James
one.
Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't have Elton John again playing this super epic. Yeah. Any last minute thoughts on the James Gunn DC news?
Yeah, no, I think he has good vision and he knows how to really carry his stories well with his characters. He's a big character guy, which is perfect for DC. So it makes so much sense. So
I wonder how, like, if it's like awkward or any bad blood with like Kevin Feige, and like, cause like he still has like 2 projects, like the Guardians holiday special and the Guardians 3, like in the works.
I don't think there would be.
I don't think so. I think I saw somewhere actually.
Like, just being creative and doing your thing. You know?
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that like Kevin Feige was like, yeah, I'm super happy for him. Like, once he gets like the work done on Guardians 3, like I'll be in the theater seeing every movie he does. So yeah. All right, you ready to jump into the main segment for this week?
Yes, I am.
So, a little project came out last week called Tales of the Jedi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the 6 animated shorts. What'd you think of it
dude,
overall?
They hit me more in my feels than what I thought, dude, honestly.
I've never seen a bunny like orgasm in front of me.
And at the same time, it filled in so many nice little details that there's always like speculation on.
Yeah, they definitely didn't need to, but because they did, like, it makes it feel like so much more complete and like a full story. I like that a lot. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were saying?
But no, you said exactly what I was thinking. Like, it was on point.
Yeah, I'm just speedier at it. So Speed Racer. We should have a race. Speed Racer
versus
the bunny.
Versus the hair.
We're both like speed things versus the hair. Oh, the hair. Oh, I thought you meant like just your hair.
No, just my hair.
I was like, what? Yeah, that went over my hair.
Oh, okay. We're pushing a little bit.
I loved this show. Like,
yes.
I think it was really well thought out, the stories, and again, like you said, connected the dots that didn't need connecting.
And just the pacing and timing of it. I like that they're all short, between like 15, 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah. It's just like
too crazy.
Done so well, and like just care and attention to detail was put into this, and you can tell, like, Dave Filoni. I have some details I'm going to get into later about like when he wrote these. Like, I think he wrote these according to like Wikipedia, which I know everyone's like, oh, I don't know if that's a good source or not, whatever. But he was writing this while he was like traveling to like be on location for Mandalorian, like on like a commute or like a work trip or something. And he just like started like writing stories for Ahsoka and Dooku. And then like when he got back, one of the executives at Lucasfilm was like, hey, do you want to like make this a show? And yeah, that's kind of what they did. That's how it started. But yeah, I don't know, this just got me excited about Star Wars, like bringing back the prequels, which is like an amazing time period in my mind. That's what we grew up on. Do you think that people have to, like, do you think we like this more because it's like brings us back to the prequels, like our era of Star Wars? Like, do you think fans that aren't around our age would appreciate it less because of that?
Potentially, but really at the end of the day, it again just goes to the root of storytelling and like, where can we get these moments in to tell these like specific stories about these characters? Like, it doesn't matter what part they're in, right? But are the stories themselves fulfilling enough to carry an episode? And they all were. Again, that's what I was saying before with the timing of it. Like, they weren't like super long, but they were condensed and they were nice, and they made very clear points to what the morals or like whatever the situation was going on in the character's head at that time. Especially with Dooku in a lot of cases, like seeing him turn from like,
I loved his arc.
I gotta do what's right for what I think is right, not necessarily what the Jedi I think is right, and then like that leading to his fall to the dark side. It was really cool to see.
He's always been an interesting character, and I love that they like explored that. Whose arc were you, A, most excited for, and then B, liked the most? Like, was it the same?
Really, it's between Dooku and Ahsoka, and the whole reason why I want to say Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's the two.
But no, it's just like
wait a minute.
No, because you could also, or you could be like Qui-Gon. You could be like
the two arcs of this whole thing was Dooku and Ahsoka. I know. You can't be it's between the two. Yeah, no crap.
I'm just saying, but like, okay, but hear me out, okay?
Okay.
They're both excellent. but they have different roles, right? Because from how I see it, right, Dooku's arc showed his failure as comparing him to somebody like Obi-Wan in essence, right? Because Obi-Wan is always seen as like this like idealistic Jedi, you know. He in his own sense was rebellious, but he also stayed true to himself. Where in this case, Dooku, he continued failing himself, and he questioned himself a lot. We saw in that one fight with him and Yaddle, which, by the way, seeing the death of Yaddle, like,
yeah,
well, the
I do want to get into
death,
all the arcs.
Oh my
but
god,
you're still not answering my question. Which one did you like the best?
I can't say. That's my point. They both have different. They have different purposes. Is what I'm trying to say.
If I had to choose that we only got one of these, I would choose Dooku. I think that was my favorite out of the Dooku Ahsoka. I love the Ahsoka one. I just like Dooku a lot more than the Ahsoka one, but I still like them both very much. Let's talk about Ahsoka first, so we can end with Dooku, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka's arc started with episode 1 of the whole thing, and episode 1 of her arc was Life and Death.
Where she's a wee little bab.
I immediately noticed that, like, I like the style. It's like, again, in that Clone Wars-esque style,
but it's more updone.
But a lot of it, even like the like background like matte type paintings were like more painterly and like kind of wispy and stylized in that sense. And I really liked it, honestly, especially in the setting of like her home world.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, baby Ahsoka, I thought was very cute. Yeah, what do you think of I guess the first episode?
The first episode was great. It actually hit me surprisingly more than what I thought at the end.
Really?
Yeah, and the main reason for that was the analogy between life and death, and how the tiger creature, right? Was able to not only choose life for Ahsoka, but in essence chose life for everyone, right? Because like what was about to happen is like the whole freaking farm was about to head out and hunt down the tiger to try to save Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be ready to kill Ahsoka or avenge her if it killed her, right?
What if they just retconned it all and like killed Ahsoka in that moment? Just changed the arc, changed all of Clone Wars. Or like that's not actually Ahsoka, like it pans and there's another baby.
Yeah, there's like Ahsoka 2.
Yeah. Ahsoka
but you know what I
2
mean?
Like, instead of Tano.
Oh my god. But no, like it just, I don't know what it was, but it just hit me in that moment where it's like the Force is, well, a force for life, and that in totality showed that. And I thought it was really cool to see.
Interesting. I actually have a little bit of a TTT about this if you want to jump to that.
Yeah.
So, did you know that in Tales of the Jedi, Dave Filoni's first idea for Ahsoka's arc was to show she was brought to the Jedi Order by Plo Koon?
Really?
Yeah, so that was his first idea. So he decided to change this to the story that we saw about Ahsoka's first hunting trip with her mother, because he felt like there had not been many stories about moms being moms in Star Wars. And he also felt it was very important that Ahsoka's first experience with someone telling her, don't be afraid, was her mother. And I think it was a good choice. It would have been cool. Like, I know Dave Filoni's like a huge Plo Koon fan, but
no, I think this was more, I think this was fitting. And it was really, really well done. Yeah.
Definitely.
Also, I just want to say, too, world building, like when the dad was like working on roofing the house, just like even the tiny little things, roofing? Like designing the like the design for the hammer, right? Because it's like it's a hammer, but it's not like an actual, like it was just a basic cylinder with like some etching in it and stuff like that.
Not from like J&W hardware.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean? Just like thinking about like how would the species design something like this? Yeah. Like that kind of thought being put into just the little mechanics of things. I love that.
That's cool. Yeah, that was her first episode. What do you think about? Do you have any last minute thoughts on this first episode before we jump into her next?
No, I think that was good.
Next episode. So the next episode was episode 5 overall. So we got like all episode 1 of Ahsoka, and then all of Dooku's arc. So we're gonna jump to episode 5 now and go back to Dooku eventually. But we're gonna talk about practice makes perfect.
This one also hit me at the end when I got to 66.
Yes. Oh, this one hit me definitely.
Especially when Jesse was like, "Sorry." Like
I had a question about this. This could be me being dumb, but doesn't Obi-Wan already have his episode 3 hair by the time he meets Ahsoka? Like in the original Clone Wars movie?
In the original Clone Wars movie? You making me Google this now.
Did they mess up the timeline? So he has his episode 3 hair when he first meets her in the Clone Wars movie. You know, I'm 100% certain on this because the Clone Wars movie comes out after Attack of the Clones, right?
Yes.
So he has the mullet in Attack of the Clones, and then in the Clone Wars movie, Into the War, he has already cut his mullet off, right?
Yes.
So he doesn't have the mullet from that point forward whenever he meets Ahsoka. So in this like flashback, how come he has a mullet when Ahsoka's training?
I'm
not complaining because we get to see mullet Obi-Wan, but I'm like thinking, there's a timeline mess up, or maybe, spoilers for Clone Wars, after Satine dies, he gets like all emo and grows his hair out again into the mullet for a short period of time.
I think both are equally good excuses there.
No, but seriously, did they like mess up the timeline? Like,
I honestly don't think so. Hair's hair.
How? You can't just say I don't think
it's hair.
So. How?
Hair is hair. Come on.
You can't just throw around mullet Obi-Wan, Daniel. Like I need to know when the timeline happens. I think they might have messed up the timeline there. Like again, I'm very happy we got to see mullet Obi-Wan, but I think they messed up the timeline.
Do we know that if in the was it the first appearance, like first time that they were meeting in the Clone Wars movie?
Yeah, because she introduces herself. I'm Ahsoka Tano, and he's like, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm Anakin Skywalker, whatever. And then they go, you're his Padawan, and she's like, what? I was assigned to what's it called? And Obi-Wan was like, I requested a youngling, blah blah blah. So like that's the first time they're meeting. So like this training montage, like I don't know if it's like a Force vision or like what, but I think they messed up the timeline. Like mullet Obi-Wan never appears with Ahsoka. I don't think. That's my only like criticism of Tales of the Jedi.
Well, again, I say hair is hair. I'm going to go with the Satine, the story where he's sad and he grows it out, okay?
He goes emo. Depressed Obi-Wan Kenobi has returned.
Oh, God. But yeah, no, but it also made a lot of sense, too, to why Ahsoka was able to stay alive, especially as well as she did.
Yes, 100%.
It's like she wasn't just another Padawan. She was
Anakin's Padawan, and she was
by
trained
the chosen one,
to the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
drilled. Yeah, it's very poetic. I think that also like the reason Ahsoka
lives
is because of Vader, because of Anakin.
Yeah,
I thought that was very cool. Anakin ended up saving her in the long run, and then almost kills her before she's pulled into that time force field, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Besides the mullet timeline confusion, maybe it's time travel again. Maybe she got pushed back from the Rebels time travel stuff and saw mullet Obi-Wan.
That's why they were
something.
Always like in the episode of, oh man, I thought I was late. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I kind of want to watch it. Like I want to watch this episode and then go into
the Clone
Wars 7
episode?
of Clone Wars, where she like fights all the guys at the end. Like I would love to see that training and like specifics that they like actually, like she was actually training that maybe she implemented in the choreography of the animation. That might be cool if they like.
This brings up the question too: what's easier to block, a blaster bolt, or I guess evade technically, a blaster bolt or a stun blast? Because a stun blast is
like
wider,
stuns are
right?
like wider.
Yeah, so like, and I think they also dissipate with distance.
If you hit any part of it, does the whole thing get blocked? Because it would be easier then if you're.
That's what I'm saying.
Stuns.
To block it, but then to evade it,
you have to hit like directly in the center. Yeah, to evade. Oh, that's true. I don't know. Interesting.
Because it's a loop. Do you think you like just jump and like go to a ball?
You just like jump rope
it just
with
goes
stun.
around you.
Maybe if you're far enough away.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, she was drilled hard. Anakin had no mercy. I wonder like how much of that Obi-Wan did to him. I'm pissed Qui-Gon died. Now I'm stuck with this kid. Shoot him.
Stun him. Yeah.
I mean, but I guess also when Anakin was training, though, there wasn't clones like that skilled of people
that's
to
the
train
thing with
with.
Anakin, though. I feel like it wasn't just Obi-Wan push. Like I don't think Obi-Wan
was pushing himself.
him like that. Yeah, he's pushing himself a lot.
Yeah,
because he wants to be the very best.
Yeah,
no one ever was.
Anakin burning
Kill
in lava.
Them all is my real test. The younglings I will call
my destiny. Yeah. All right, let's jump into her last episode.
Yep.
Resolve.
Dude.
What?
Okay, just one. The funeral was.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, at the very beginning.
And then like her conversation with Bale and the troopers there.
I do like that she was put at Padme's funeral, like it was her friend. And also at this point, I think she thinks and probably hears rumors that Anakin is also passed.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's some controversy around this episode because apparently a few years ago, there was some Ahsoka novel where something similar to this happens, where like Ahsoka's on a farm and then like an Inquisitor comes up to her. And I think it was like a different Inquisitor. Something similar happens where she's like outed and she has to defeat the Inquisitor. But then in the novel, she like takes the lightsaber and purifies the crystals. And that's where she gets her white
ones
blades from. her kyber crystals, but apparently like she gives like that doesn't happen in this, and it's also like a different Inquisitor, so like people are upset with that.
Well, how do we know it doesn't happen in this? She has the saber still.
I don't know, because apparently it's like not shown, or maybe she gives it to Bale. I don't know what happened at the end, but like
no, she gave Bale back the receiver.
I think it was a different Inquisitor, and that's one of the reasons. There's like some things that's different that people are upset with, but like I think it's fine. Again, not many people like read. I know many people do read the books, but like
was the book canon? Like was it made?
I believe it was canon. Yeah, okay. It was like 2018 was when it was made. So I think people are like slightly upset that it's changing that, but like who cares, man? Like it's really good television.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just to see. Also, just the way she freaking owned him, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she turned off his own saber, and homie was like, huh? And then instantly decapitated. Like, bro.
Yeah.
That was so badass.
So sick.
Which also makes me think, to the Mandalorian, that why is the spear fight so long? Yeah. Other than her not wanting to kill him. Right. She's like, I don't want to kill you. I could, do it instantly, but I'm not going to.
The Ahsoka series, takes more inspiration from this version of Ahsoka, and I think I saw in an interview recently that Jon Favreau, a quote that said that he said this was more of like a samurai thing in the Ahsoka series. So maybe that means we'll get some cool stuff like that. I hope so.
That's gonna be dope.
Yeah. I again liked this arc a lot, but I think out of the two, I liked the holes that Dooku's arc filled more.
Yeah, no,
and this felt
about it now, I think I agree with you.
It was cool that we see that Ahsoka stumbles a little bit and almost gives up and then goes back to the rebellion. But I don't think that really adds a lot to the story. It adds a bit. It's cool to see that she stumbled but then never gave up. But it's just really brief. She was on a farm and yeah, it was cool.
She's on a farm with her bell-bottom jeans, getting the hay.
I like Dooku's arc a lot more. Are you ready to jump into Dooku's arc?
Yeah.
All right. Episode 2 overall, which is episode 1 of Dooku's arc, Justice.
Him with Qui-Gon, young Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
That was so
I have another
cool
TTT about this.
Yeah.
So, did you know that in Tales of the Jedi, young Qui-Gon is voiced by Liam Neeson's actual son?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me find his name. I don't know his son's name. Hold on. I need to take my gloves off to type.
Lil Neeson.
Neeson Jr., Liam Neeson Jr. Michael Richardson is his name. He voices young Qui-Gon Jinn, and then Qui-Gon comes back to voice, or then Liam Neeson comes back to voice Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon comes back to voice Liam Neeson
in the next episodes when he's older. But I really liked. I thought the young Qui-Gon sounded good, and just seeing their dynamic was really super awesome to see, Dooku training Qui-Gon, because we have heard that, we know that's the lineage of the masters to apprentices, but seeing it actually happen, and it's cool because I think even Filoni was saying this when he was developing it, but Qui-Gon in the prequels isn't on the Jedi Council because he's kind of bold
rebellious.
And out there and rebellious, and so Dave Filoni was thinking where would he get that from? That would be instilled in him from his master Dooku, and it makes sense because Dooku questions the Jedi all the time, so much so that he leaves them. So it's cool to see the early days of that, where maybe some of that's rubbing off on Qui-Gon.
Yeah,
I think that's so well thought out, and again connects those dots that diehard fans are gonna be yeah, that's sick.
I just love seeing Dooku lose it, man. Him being this is unjust. I'm gonna do what I need to do to make it right, and oh man, because that's the thing. It's again, it's not just a villain being a villain. It's somebody that has good motive and trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, because no one would argue that the Senate is failing out here. There's a corrupt senator that is failing to bring around wealth and prosperity to the place he's supposed to be serving, and so the people are taking it into their own hands. And so it's kind of ironic that the Jedi, supposedly these keepers of peace, are being told to stop these rebellious villagers, even though they're starving and dying because of the corrupt Senate. So Dooku's motives are totally make sense, and it's so easy when they spell it out like this to see how he devolves and wants to step away from the Jedi. And because the Jedi have become corrupt, and he's just seeing that clearly, which is, it's hard when it's instilled from you from an early age to break away from previous preconceptions in all of life. But so for him to be able to have the courage to step away from that, albeit he did it a weird way by killing people, that's great. That's horrible. But the one thing I want to comment on this whole episode was the beat when Dooku starts choking that guy and the senator, and the freaking organ. Let me say that again. The organ that plays on that beat when the senator starts choking, sent me. Dude, it was the most amazing and epic thing I had seen in such a long time. And that brought me back. I remember when we were talking about Rebels, I remember Dave Filoni's father was really into classical music and opera. And so he instilled that in Dave Filoni. Plus, we had Kevin Kiner again, who did Thrawn's theme with that similar organ, and I could so see the similarities between that. Yeah, and it was just so sick, those musical themes, like when he freaking starts choking him and there's a beat and then the organ just lays on, and that just like, I rewinded that like 3 times. It was just like giddy watching it. It was so sick. And he pushes Qui-Gon aside.
Yeah, that too. Like just him taking control of the entire situation. Like the thing too, like the guards were like confused, like what's going on?
Is this a Jedi?
Yeah, like they're like that's not a Jedi thing. Like
that's no moon. Yeah.
So yeah, it was really just it was nice. It was nice to see him choke somebody. No, it was nice to see like
Daniel's kink unlocked. choke me in the bunny suit, daddy. Dooku.
Yeah, you do it by the leprechaun clover.
This isn't actually Halloween. I'm just gonna release this on like a random day in like February.
Oh God. But no, it was just again nice seeing how he starting to fall to the dark side there.
Yeah, let's jump into the next episode where he continues to fall. So episode 3 overall, episode 2 of Dooku's arc is called Choices. And this is the only one that was not written by Dave Filoni, like entirely. Like the idea was, again, Dave Filoni, but this was written by 2 other people who I think like had directing credits on other episodes, but they actually fully writ this one, whereas the other ones, Dave Filoni has the sole writing credit on all those other ones. Yeah, so Choices. What do you think about this episode?
I think it was good. Honestly, I feel like this might be the weakest out of all of them, but
really, the one that definitely didn't write.
But the reason I say that, like, it kind of was like a repeat almost of the last one. It was like something like pushing Dooku a little bit further. But it also gave insight into like the choices that were made that led to Mace becoming one of the council members and everything else surrounding that.
I think I don't know if this was the weakest episode. Like I might have to slightly disagree with you there, just because I think it was cool. The last episode saw a lot of the external conflict Dooku was having with like the Senate and maybe how the Jedi could change and like on an external level. And this was really a lot more internal, I guess. I mean, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, it is very similar because it's another senator, but it's internal with like Mace specifically.
With how the rules of like what the council was telling them to do versus what they were doing to actually approach it.
I saw someone kind of interpret it. I don't know how true this was or how it was meant to be interpreted, but like as Mace was kind of being sneaky and like not super intentionally, but like he was being really like, I'm just gonna follow the rules, like whatever the rules say, so that he could get that seat on council and kind of like snake Dooku out of it. So even if Dooku interpreted it slightly that way, even if that wasn't Mace's intentions, I could see how that would drive Dooku to be a little upset with the council and also Mace, who might have been considered his friend before.
But that also leads to another failure of Dooku. And here's why, because he's focusing on ego. When he had that conversation with Mace, did you know that you were going to be on council before we went on that mission?
He shouldn't be worrying about that, you think?
Yeah, he should. That's not the Jedi way. At that, it's not even, without even just being a Jedi principle, it shouldn't be about ego. You know, he should be focusing about what's right and wrong.
Very paralleled nicely with, with Anakin. Again, very concerned about getting on the council. Maybe Palpatine saw that in him and was like, oh, history is repeating itself. Let me nab that one as well as a Padawan. I don't know, maybe that's interesting. I wonder also how much behind the scenes of this was Palpatine feeding into Dooku, like, you should have been the one on the council, not Mace kind of thing.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
That would have been interesting if they dove into that, or maybe, I don't know, behind the scenes of even Tales of the Jedi, they're like, I don't know, that'd be really cool seeing those parallels. Yeah, but I love seeing Dooku interact with Mace. It probably also deepens his betrayal, like when they face off in Attack of the Clones, like on that balcony on Geonosis, makes that kind of more impactful. Oh, also, even just like the little things, again, the attention to detail, I want to comment on the staging of Dooku compared to the other Jedi during the funeral of that like Jedi that died on the planet. Like there's like that beam of light in the middle, and Yoda and most of the like recognizable Jedi, Yoda, Mace, are on one side, and on the other side
Dooku's
is Dooku, like head down, like very much doubting his side, what side of things he's on, literally. Genius. All right, you ready to jump into the last episode of Dooku's arc?
Yes.
Probably my favorite episode of this whole thing.
The reason I say sadly is that I was like, that's how they're going to do Yaddle? Yeah. Like I knew as soon as she followed him. I was like, oh,
episode
no.
4 overall, episode 3 of his arc, the Sith Lord, his final episode. Again, the music, phenomenal. Like, Dooku's musical themes were always unique, like even in the main films, but the choice of like instrument and uneasy like melody, this freaking elevates it so much. Him choosing between Sidious and Yaddle. I would love to like compare that scene to when he's talking to Anakin like at the end of episode 2, because they're again by that same ship in kind of a similar environment, and just like I would love to compare those musical themes. I also didn't realize how long Dooku was still part of the Jedi Council. I didn't know it was like all the way through the events of episode 1. Like, or not on the Jedi Council, but just like part of the Jedi Order. Like, I didn't realize it was that far along. Like he was like a spy kind of like in their ranks.
Which is crazy thing about it too. And I also loved how they explained him or like showed him like the leading the Camino files and
and
like
ideas, connecting all
like,
those dots again.
Even just him like just sleuking around, you know, like he's Dooku, so it's normal for him. Even when he went to go see Jocasta Nu and be like, oh, what's going on? Like she just treated him like normally because that's just his character. Where he's like all down and like I don't know, in his feels.
Pointy chin.
Dooku's the biggest emo boy. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, him and Obi-Wan gonna get together, grow mullets. I guess so. I guess that means Qui-Gon never knew his master was evil. So he died thinking his master was good. Which I guess I feel good for Qui-Gon for that. I guess I wonder like
I feel like he learned through the Force.
Yeah, I want to see that conversation between a ghost Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan at the end of Kenobi. So just about like, yo, you hear about your master? Dooku, like, yeah, he was kind of a bad dude.
No, like even before then, like imagine like watching Attack of the Clones, but like from Qui-Gon's ghost perspective.
Yeah,
and he's like sees like Dooku go all bad, and he's like, what?
Wait, actually, someone has to make that. Someone has to do like a re-edit of Attack of the Clones, and it's like Qui-Gon's Force Ghost just like looking around, checking in on Obi-Wan, and just seeing like Dooku is like now a separatist and like a Sith, and he's like, what?
no, it's like when Obi-Wan gets captured, right? So he's like all chained up. He's like, Obi-Wan, I sense you were distressed, and then Dooku comes walks in. He's like, oh, thank God Dooku's here, and then he ignites his lightsaber and it's all red. He's like, what?
He's like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, maybe he stole that lightsaber from a Sith. Like he killed a Sith. That's great. And he looks at the hilt. It's like, that looks very similar to his regular hilt. And then Obi-Wan like spits in his face, and he's like, Obi-Wan, why are you being so rude to my master? Just like refusing to accept that Dooku is evil.
I feel like we get like a good Robot Chicken like comedy.
Dude, 100%.
Bit, honestly,
yeah, I can so see that. That'd be awesome. We should make that. Oh, speaking of Yaddle, though, back to the tank with that.
Oh my God!
Did you know that Bryce Dallas Howard actually voices Yaddle?
Really? I thought she sounded familiar.
Yeah. So Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, she's in Jurassic World and stuff, but she's also like directed, I think, a few episodes of Mandalorian. So that's just really cool. That like I feel like that's an honor to voice such an iconic character as Yaddle.
Yeah, honestly, the way that they killed her the first time.
Dude, that was brutal.
Dude, I was like, that's how they did it? Like,
and then she's back.
And then she was like, it
was really epic.
I'm good. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, at least he didn't just like demolish her, but like still.
Yeah. You just see like green blood flowing down the crevice.
I'm surprised it wasn't just that, the green blood, and then directed by George Lucas.
Directed by Michael Bay. I also saw a tweet, so I can't take credit for this, but the fact that Yaddle speaks like a normal human being in English means that Yoda is just a trolling goblin speaking all goofy for the fun of it to cause chaos.
Honestly, true. Yeah.
Or he's just from like a really weird part, like
of the galaxy where they speak like that.
Part of like that planet that they're from that has like a really weird accent or something.
Well, then again, normal might not be his first language.
True. Yeah, maybe she was like brought to Coruscant at a young age. She developed that early,
and then she didn't have a need to like learn anything else,
or like really trained herself as like an expert in dialect.
Yeah.
Well,
Yoda like was brought up on like some outer rim planet where they have their own.
They should do Tales of the Jedi with Yoda.
Yeah. Well, that made me think of one more meme, where it's like, you know, the Doofenshmirtz meme, where he's like, "I'd have 2 dimes."
Yeah.
It's like him. I fought 2 little green people.
If I had a nickel for every time I fought 2 little green people, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah.
No, honestly, if I had a nickel for every time that I fought a 3-foot little green big-eared gremlin monster.
Yeah.
Do they both have green lightsabers?
Yeah.
Both with green lightsabers next to my freakishly weird ship. I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Dooku has lived a weird life.
Dude, Sidious had a busy day that day. I was thinking about it because he freaking is in like this place waiting for Dooku. Then he sees Yaddle get killed and then flies all the way to Qui-Gon's funeral, like on the same day. Like just the depth and meaning to that appearance. Thinking back to like Palpatine kind of like grinning at the end of like the funeral scene or like when it pans to him.
Wait, that's the same day?
I believe it was because that's why like Yaddle was like, we're all going to the funeral. Like, are you going to come? Like, we're all going to go to Naboo. So like, think about like just that little grin or like, I don't even know if he grins, but just like that pan and that look that Palpatine gives. He's either thinking like my plan's going well or like I just saw Yaddle die and no one knows. Like, what?
Which is another thing too. Like none of the other Jedi were able to like force sense that. Or anything.
Maybe that's actually an explanation though. Maybe the sorrow and like disturbance of the force of Qui-Gon's death and the fact that there's no Sith being revealed with Darth Maul clouded their judgment. And also we have learned the story of the prequels was that like the Jedi are blind because like there's literally Palpatine is in control of the Senate. So that just adds to it. Like they're just so blind that they didn't even notice when Yaddle passed away. I wonder how they explain that, honestly.
Honestly, Palpatine's just the biggest troll.
Yeah.
With that kind of like just actions, dude. I'm gonna go kill your like one of your masters and then as a Sith go to one of the funerals
and pretend to care.
Just to pretend to care. Yeah. Like what the fuck, dude?
Palpatine Shad mode.
Oh god.
Yeah, dude, I really liked it. So overall, again, Dooku's arc was my favorite. I think I swayed you to think Dooku's was your favorite as well. Would you want a Tales of the Jedi season 2?
I would not call it that, but really? Yes, I want more.
I want more.
It wouldn't be like a season 2. I don't think it's not like a season thing. I think it would be more like collection.
Okay. What stories would you want to see? Like, what Jedi would you like to explore in a Tales of the Jedi season 2?
Well, that's the thing. I like the way that they had the duality with this one. With again, Dooku to
like Dooku falling and then Ahsoka kind of rising to be good.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like having something similar to that, it doesn't need to be that exactly again. Like it doesn't need to be like something being like it doesn't need to be like a Maul thing and then somebody else rising from that. But like, I feel like if you have that duality again in some aspect, would be really good to see. It'd be cool to see some of the bounty hunters actually from the original trilogy and seeing like their
Tales
origins.
Of the Jedi, Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
But like, I'm just thinking characters.
I think I have a really good one for a different one, but I think if we were doing Jedi, it would be cool. I mean, Plo Koon and Kit Fisto, I think, don't get the service they deserve, like the attention they deserve. So it'd be really cool to see that. Maybe even Yaddle or even Yoda's early days. Maybe we get to see the origin of his crazy dialect. Honestly, just some Tales of the Jedi just showing how he got to speak that way. Like, that's all I want. Nothing like, none of actual backstory of like his training, but like who taught him to speak. But I also want to. I thought that'd be funny. Dino Man. You remember in Attack of the Clones where that like guy, that Dino Jedi, like runs up to Jango and just immediately gets shot and like falls off. I want to see his origin story.
That'd be so funny.
I want to see like his backstory. Like maybe he like just like skipped every day of bounty hunter training, like defense class, and
like he's excelled in everything else, but that was like the one thing he slacked on, and because that was one thing he slacked on. Yeah.
And like it leads up to like right before he jumps into action. It's again like it's like Ahsoka opening the doors. It's like him like, all right, this is my time to prove everyone wrong. And then it cuts, and then watch episode 2. He just falls and dies.
Dude, that'd be the good like motive or like moral in that story would be like having a balance in your life.
Yeah,
like
they could play.
God,
they could
that
play
could actually
like
be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do another pitch practice episode of that maybe. Honestly, this is kind of inspired me to do some more pitch practices like in the style of this because I think that'd be very good for a pitch practice. But I also saw someone pitch a Tales of the Sith, where you like look at Sith stories, and I think that could be really interesting. I would love to see. I saw someone pitch a young Palpatine, like maybe his early political days and like how he kind of forms the idea, and maybe even like some stuff with his master Plagueis would be so dope. I was thinking Grievous. It would be sick to see a Tales of the Sith with Grievous and how he became an android. So like his arc starting as like a celebrated soldier,
even though he's not a Sith, but yeah,
like Tales of the Sith, but like he's like but like so. His arc starting as like a celebrated soldier, and then when like he has that into like the freak accident and him becoming a monster and like having to accept or at least like tolerate that, I think that could be really an amazing arc.
I totally agree with you. At the same time too, I think dealing with the Inquisitors and seeing their transition would be a really cool thing, because like we've seen a little bit of that with Reva, like her surviving Order 66, but like we didn't get to really see like what moments led up to them deciding to then become Inquisitors instead. You know what I mean? And Reva is also a unique case because she always had that hate towards Anakin. And
I don't think maybe all the Inquisitors, because I think they probably have similar trajectories, but maybe just like following one Inquisitor's arc and seeing how they decide. Or maybe I could be wrong.
Just the Grand Inquisitor, honestly, I think.
Because he fell from like being like the temple guard. Yeah, to see him then get recruited might be really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I freaking love this show, dude. I thought it was fantastic. I hate that also people like write it off because it's like animation. Like, and this is such a cool medium.
Yeah, if people were like that, they could go suck a fat turd, man. Because this stuff is great. People put so much time and effort into it. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's cinematic. It's lovely. Well thought out. If anything, argumentatively, this takes more time than traditional film, because of all the different aspects that go into it. Now, things are getting easier technology-wise to make things easier on the artist across the board. But still, like, it's, everything. Everything is so beautiful. Just appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about for a while about this. Any last-minute thoughts you want to talk about before we jump into the next segment?
Ahsoka had her mother's eyes. I don't know.
Aw. Okay. Yeah, all right, ready to jump into TTTT?
Yeah, show me what you got.
Totally Tubular Trivia Tidbits. So I actually have a Dooku-related one. So did you know the reason Dooku's lightsaber hilt is curved is because Christopher Lee was an experienced fencer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you say what?
I don't want people to feel like I'm stupid, man.
Listen, don't,
TikTok, he asked me to say what, or like, no, I didn't know about that so many times. Sometimes you're legit, other times you're not.
A lot of them are legit, and I feel like I just say something, and you're like, I kind of heard something about that, so I'll say yeah.
No, there's some that are like literally legit, and then there are.
I know some are, but there are a lot that you just like fake your way through. But yeah, no.
Well, there's also somewhere I fake my way through it to make it easier on you.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, I didn't know that, but like, you don't know if I actually know it or not.
I do know because you're so cheesy about it.
But maybe I'm being cheesy on purpose.
No, whatever. All right. So they designed the hilt of Dooku's lightsaber to be based on a fencing sword's hilt, so we could be familiar with it. I also think it just looks so freaking cool and helps it like stand out.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Sabers. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to jump into the next segment? The draft.
Yes.
All right. So this is our semi-news segment where we go through and like go back and forth and draft, pick different things based on stuff. What do we? Yeah.
Based on what we think is best out of the collection, and then we work down from there.
Yeah. I think I'm first. We're doing months.
Yes.
So months of the year. All right. So I'm going to start out hot with December, baby. You got Christmas, you got New Year's, the holiday season, all happy. Everyone's happy and like caring because you're in that weird period of after Thanksgiving and before Christmas that like no one wants to do anything. So people are kind of more lenient usually. Mm-hmm. Weather's even less of a concern for me now that I'm in California. But also when I was in colder climate, like I love the cold weather and snow for about a month. And that month was December. Yeah. So that's my first pick, December.
Okay. So I have to say October.
Fudge! No!
Dude, like, come on. Like, why not? Like, it's fall. You get the beautiful colors, like, perfect temperature in certain locations, like, where we're at. Like, right now it's, like, 60s. And I love 60s. You get to layer up. You get to do, get your fits on how you like. I wore this nice sweater today. It's all good. I didn't wear these ears today. I just wore for the podcast, but,
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. And Halloween.
Dude, yeah. All the Halloween stuff. Peak college football is also during that time. Man, you got a good one there. Solid. I'm going to choose July then.
I'm okay with giving you that.
I have another one that I had ranked above it, but I thought you might have picked July next. So I'm going to choose July because it's just like an amazing vacation month. Like it's at that period, especially like when I was in school, that like June, like school was done enough and I wasn't thinking about the next school year yet. So it was just like the perfect bliss month. You got 4th of July parties and barbecues. Yeah, we saw Thor 4 this year in July. So
okay, yeah, that is true.
Brings it up. Summer blockbusters also were rolling out during this month. Yeah, the days are still super long. All around good month in my mind.
So next, I gotta choose August.
Ooh, thank goodness. Okay.
And the reason
I'm okay
I know. But the reason I'm saying August is not just because it's my birthday, but there's like so many. We have so many Leos in my family. So it's like one birthday after the next, after the next.
So it's just like a month of birthday celebrations.
Yeah, it's a lot of family time, a lot of partying, a lot of good eating. So it's hard to compete with that, man.
You do have school starting up that month, though. Like when people.
Yeah, but I teach now, so it's kind of a benefit because now I get money.
You get more money. Okay, that's fair. All right, this might be a surprising third round pick for me. I'm picking April. So everyone complains about like April showers. I, now living in LA, miss the rain a lot. So I could use some April showers, honestly. It never rains here. I really miss it some days. Yeah, and also Easter usually falls around April, and I always love spending time Easter with the family. You've got April Fool's Day also, some good pranks, some good times. Let's be real, March is still usually really cold, and it's hopefully April it's starting to warm up a bit. And also my birthday's in April, so that's another bonus. So that's why I'm choosing April.
That's tough. That's tough for my next one. I'm stuck between 2 months.
Okay.
I'm going to say May.
Okay. It's gonna be May.
It took me a second to process, like, wait, what? I was like, oh, God. No, but the reason I'm saying that is kind of the same logic that you had for when it came to, like, temperature. Like, it's not, like, too hot, but it's also not too cold. Like it's kind of like a nice in between, like, end of spring. Yeah. And it's also usually end of school, so kind of vice versa is my old argument, but it's also nice because that means then I don't have to work on school stuff.
You get less money, but less responsibility.
So it works out.
Okay. Got it. That's fair. You also get like flowers start blooming. I can respect the May month. I'm going to choose November. Yeah, baby.
Damn.
I always love it. I get so much pride when you like are upset. I'm like, yes, I picked a good one. I don't know what that says about me, but I just think this draft has shown me that like I really like fall. Because like Thanksgiving, and again, you're gearing up for the holidays. I love spending time with family and just the good food at Thanksgiving. Yeah, the hype of Halloween has kind of died off, but like you still have that excitement and crispness of the fall air.
Unless you're Evan.
You've also got daylight savings, and you get an extra hour of sleep, which is just
nice.
The cherry on top of November for me.
Also, just a note about my Evan comment there. Evan starts celebrating Christmas
November 1st.
November 1st. He's technically already started celebrating
October 15th.
Yeah, he started listening. Like, bro, give the holidays their time, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho. My next favorite month, I was going to say holiday.
We could do holidays for another one. I think that'd be a good one.
Is this my last pick, or do we have one more?
You have 2 more, including this one.
Okay, so the kind of our months are kind of just meh, because you got all the other good ones. Does that mean like half the year is shit?
There's only 4 months left, so you just think 4 months of the year suck.
I'll just say September. No, actually, yes. No, I'll say.
Oh wait,
September.
there's 5 months. I forgot September. What the fudge?
I'll say September because of the 21st night. I hope you remember. And then also Ren Fair. It's like the perfect time to do Ren Fair.
I've never been to the Ren Fair, so that's fair. I know.
You gotta get yourself a turkey leg. You gotta get yourself some hot apple cider or something that's alcoholic, and you'll be good, dude.
All right.
Go around. It's a good time. Throw some axes. Laugh at some wenches. You know, it's all good.
All right. I think, since I got July, I might not need June. That was going to be my next one. But I think I'm going to choose... These last few months are a little rough.
My point.
I think I'm going to choose June. I was stuck between June and March. March is great because Chili's was founded in March of 1975, the first Chili's. So that elevates it. But June, like you got the longest nights of the year and like summer nights with your buddies, and summer activities are finally starting. School's out if you're in school. Yeah, just the high of that. And I think I'm happy with June.
Okay. I'm going to end off with March then, because...
Yeah, you got March, all right. Fair,
here's the thing. January
I got you.
January is the Monday of the year, and nobody likes it because it's the Monday of the year. Okay, like
that's January's last on my list.
Yeah, same. And then
you got seasonal depression, and everyone's in the gym because everyone's like trying to do New Year's resolutions for like 2 weeks,
and then nobody does it. So
Dark
it's like,
days.
And then February's still cold. You're
but it's
like,
shorter,
you always
at
think,
least.
oh yeah, things are gonna warm up, but
You
they
got
never do
Groundhog
because it's still
Day.
February. and then it's just supposed to be all lovey-dovey.
You got the Super Bowl in February at least.
I'm not a football guy.
Okay.
Commercials are fine, I guess.
March,
so I gotta go with
St.
March,
Patrick's Day.
just because it's like the beginning of spring. I guess things are starting to warm up, kind of a little bit, maybe.
Sort of.
Yeah.
You got St. Patrick's Day at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yay.
And in March of 1975, the first Chili's was founded, so elevates it.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good round of drafts. All right, ready to jump into the next segment.
Well, let me
Patron
ask you this
shout-out.
while we're still on it. What's your favorite season?
Fall.
Same.
Okay.
Good, we're in agreement. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Right. We'll do if people want, we can do a holiday draft. I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
If like I'm thinking like towards the end, if we like run out of like big holidays, I'm gonna be like President's Day or something. I don't know. All right, ready for patron shoutouts?
Yeah, hit me with them.
Oh, I can't snap with these on. Cue that Star Wars music.
Yes, you can.
Boosh.
Come on, Thanos.
Wait. I lost my rhythm. We got patron Lori, Frank, Rick, Lisa, Evan, Tony. Thank you so much for pledging the tier. Thank you to the shout out. You can support us over on Patreon. The link is down in the description. You get the audio episode early, special benefits, cool perks, all that jazz, and more. Thank you seriously, sincerely to our patron supporters. We really appreciate you. Yeah, ready for cool comments.
Yeah, well, we got people saying this time.
So Josh McIntyre said on our The Rock / Black Adam episode, suggestion, we should do an All That Jazz tea in the next drop, because I think I say that a lot, like for in the
all
patron
that
shout
jazz
outs.
and more.
And in the intro, I say all that jazz. So yeah, that could be interesting if I could reach out to Justine, see if we can design that, brainstorm some ideas. He also said at 116 that we included a Star Wars Easter egg with Back to the Tank. Yes, that is our signature Back to the Tank thing that it took Daniel half an episode to realize what I was doing.
Okay.
One of our earliest episodes. It's one of our longest running jokes.
I misheard you.
Well, speaking of
playing
the
it on my
shirts,
headphones.
I actually did a design mock-up of like a Back to the Tank shirt.
Yeah, you did.
If anyone would be interested in that,
cool.
Let me know. I mean, it's a good starting point. I would definitely want Justine or someone to run with the design, because my graphic design skills are not what they used to be, which was bad enough. All right, you ready for the introduction?
Yeah, tell me when.
When?
We just talk about whatever we want to talk about, and now we're done.
Thank you so much for listening. We seriously, really appreciate it. Happy Halloween. We will be back next week for some exciting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.